7 years ago, I was stuck, barely closing deals while watching everyone else hit new highs every single month. But as of today, I'm the top salesperson in a multi-million-dollar company, earning more in a month than I used to make in an entire year. So if you are willing to put in the work to become a top sales performer, here's exactly what you need to do. Step 1, transform your identity. Identity builds reality. Most people get this completely backwards. They think they need to wait until they're successful to see themselves to be successful. But that's just dead wrong. You need to see yourself as the person you want to become before you actually achieve it. And the good news is, it's very easy. All you have to do is decide. Here's what I mean. Have you ever been in a mood where something is bothering you and you're eventually like, honestly, I'm just not gonna let them bother me anymore. And then it's just gone? Do the same thing with your identity. Simply choose to be a winner. When you decide you are a top performer, your actions will follow. Now, here's how I do it before every single call to activate it. I spend 5 minutes on my power routine, 60 seconds of power posing, 2 minutes reviewing my last 3 wins, 90 seconds visualizing a successful outcome, and 30 seconds of deep breathing from my stomach. Then we need to fix your language from victim language to success language. So I want you to replace I will try to with I will. I hope to close when I close. If I hit the target to when I hit the target. And this needs to happen in all of your communications with every single person you meet. Then I want you to do some identity journaling. Each morning, write down, today I am, and note down 3 characteristics that describe your current identity. Today I'm solution focused, I'm confidently curious, and unstoppably persistent. But until you can handle the ups and downs of sales, this identity shift will crumble with that first no. And this is why we will move on to step 2. We need to reframe rejection. Look, no means next opportunity. Rejection is the fastest path to success, period. Most people run from it, hide from it, or let it crush their spirit. Top sales professionals treat it like gold. Stop worrying about how to avoid objections and start chasing objections instead. Getting to the next no as fast as possible means you're much closer to a yes. And every no that you get actually sharpens your blade so you can slay the next dragon. When you reframe every rejection as a learning opportunity, you have a win-win scenario that no one else can compete with. If you lose a sale, you learn a lesson. When you win a sale, you just earn a check. Just last month, I had a prospect rip me apart completely. Instead of feeling destroyed, I took notes, I went back to our conversation, and then I used the exact same scenario to close 3 big accounts the next week. So the more no's you run into, the more yeses you will find in the future if you take advantage of the no's. Now, reframing rejection only works when you know exactly where you're headed. Without a clear vision of your future, you're just collecting random thoughts with no purpose. Which brings me to step number 3. Map out your vision. Vague goals get nothing. If you can't vision it, it will never become your reality. But you have to be specific. What offer are you on? Where are you living? What clothes are you wearing? It's not, oh, I want to make 10, 20, 30K a month. You need to map out the specific details how you want life to look like. Or you're just confusing the universe. It doesn't know what you give you. The most successful people I know, they don't just have goals. They have a crystal clear movie playing in their head every single day. Down to the car they drive, the office they work in, the time that they wake up and go to bed. This isn't just woo-woo nonsense. It's training your brain to see opportunities that align with your vision. Without clear destination, you're just hoping to get lucky, and luck isn't the strategy that pays the bills. But having a vision means nothing if you have no way to track your progress towards it. And that's why step number 4 is track everything that gets measured. What gets measured multiplies. Not just in sales, but in every aspect of your life. Being a top performer doesn't just stop at sales and sales scripts. Are you hitting the gym consistently? Do you journal every day? Are you getting to bed on time? Track these freaking things and track them relentlessly. Then start looking at your progress that you make in sales. You will slowly see that every single consistent action you make leads to the vision that you imagine. Think of it like a science experiment where you're studying yourself. You're the test subject. And the more data you collect, the more tests you run, the more accurate decisions you're able to make. So what I would invite you to do is track your actual habits. How many hours did you sleep? What time did you wake up? How much time did you spend brain rotting on TikTok? Track your sales KPIs, deals closed, revenue generated, follow-up sent. You'll notice that when you start hitting your habits, your sales numbers follow. Now, all the tracking in the world won't matter if you're comfortable with being average. To create a real transformation, you need step 5. Raising the standard. Excellence isn't optional or comfortable. Most of you sit in a Zoom call with a backwards hat on and your bed in the background. Not just this hurts the way the prospects view you, it hurts the way you see yourself. What I would invite you to do is respect yourself. Buy a nice shirt, put on your nicest watch, no matter what you can afford, and start acting like a high-value individual. I'll never forget watching a top performer join a Zoom call as if he was walking into a Fortune 500 boardroom. Pressed suit, notes prepared, and energy sky high. Meanwhile, the average performers rolled in looking like they just crawled out of bed. And here's what makes the difference. The moment you start bullshitting yourself, saying you want to be a top performer, and actually start moving and acting like one, that's when everything aligns. If you're still accepting average in any area of your life, it infects your sales like a virus. Raising standards isn't just about environment. You need to be taking action when others are just consuming. This is exactly why step 6 separates the talkers from the doers. Step 6 is stop consuming, start executing. Knowledge without action is useless. Action beats meditation every single time. The best next sales script isn't gonna save you. Consistent action will. I used to be the same way. I was watching the YouTube videos, consuming courses, and then never implementing a single thing. It wasn't until I spent 6 months of consuming with 0 results to show for that I realized I needed a change. So I threw away the books, courses, deleted my logins, and dropped the YouTube and just started improving every single day. Suddenly, I started to see results, closing more deals, sending more follow-ups, and making more freaking money. So here's how you can implement this. For every new sales technique that you learn, write it down in your sales testing journal and just go out and deploy it. I will not allow you to learn anything else unless you start using what you learn. Otherwise, you're putting all your tools in a rusted toolbox where no one is using it. But even if with all this action, you will still be limited by the people around you. Your network is either fueling your success or killing it slowly. And that's why step 7 is separating yourself from low performers in your environment. Your environment predicts your future. So when you hang out with people that say stuff like, the leads suck, another bad month, oh, I'm wondering how the commission is gonna look like this month, your results are going to suck. But when you start hanging out with top performers, guess what? You start becoming a top performer yourself. Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future. Negative energy is contagious. It's just like a disease that creeps into your mindset. Just 2 years ago, I made one of the hardest decisions in my career. I stopped having lunch with my work buddies who spent the whole time complaining and bitching about leads. One day it was the leads, the next day was the economy, the third day was the market. And instead, I started hanging out with the top performers. I was monitoring their actions, looking at the behaviors, and maybe buy them a $5 coffee once. And these tiny actions led to huge, tremendous results. Now, surrounding yourself with winners isn't gonna matter if you're still acting just like an employee. To step into true success, you need to start thinking like a CEO. Build systems, not ceilings. Take a look at your calendar and look at your daily actions and identify what are the highest leverage tasks. Then delegate or automate all the rest. What people don't realize is you have a lot of leverage as a salesman. You're not just an average employee. You are, or you should be, judged based on the amount of money you bring in the company. It's not about the hours that you work. So I always think of sales like running a mini business within the actual business. And the best CEOs don't waste their time on low value activities. They focus on what moves the needle. But most salespeople, they get caught in the employee mindset. Take a second to really think about this. If your number one job is to bring in more revenue for the business, wouldn't it make sense to spend all your time actually generating revenue? But how can you do that when you're playing with your calendar and joining another pointless meeting and chatting on Slack about snacks? Even in your follow-ups, is it the best use of your time sending copy-paste follow-ups all your own? I started hiring VAs to do these lower leverage activities and tasks, so I'm able to focus on money-making activities. So what should you delegate or automate? You can start with actually setting appointments. Hire a VA for $5 to $10 an hour to schedule and confirm your appointments. Then updating your CRM. Create templates and automation rules using AI for standard updates, along with email management. Like, have AI manage your freaking emails. When it comes to prospect research, have an assistant compile prospect informations before your calls and put it together in a nice file. Follow-up sequences. Use automation tools to send personalized follow-ups. Obviously, ensure this is okay with your boss or your CEO, but if it is, it's going to be a game changer. But at the end of the day, until you start treating yourself as the CEO of your sales career instead of just like another employee, you'll always be capped when it comes to your income and your impact. Now, if you want to see the top 20 pieces of advice I wish I could have given myself when I first started in sales, make sure to watch this video and I'll see you over there.